meeting to order. First thing, I think we have Peter Helen Jr. Come on up.
Have a seat.
Okay, this is the application for a liquor license for the new hotel.
Correct.
Whenever it opens. So, I've been hearing so much about the hotel. Obviously, you know, from day one, I've always been in favor of this. You know, we've been wanting a hotel for a long, long time, and so that, you know, and we've been wanting to have our award banquets in West Dallas. So, at special rates, I hope.
Friends and family.
The
Whole family here, right?
so does anyone have anything to say on
Mr. Chairman?
Because it's going to be exceeding court.
Yes.
Alderman Weigel.
Real briefly, so we're talking about just a banquet facility, correct?
There's a banquet facility, correct?
Okay, but there wouldn't be like a tavern, lounge,
No.
dance thing?
No.
Okay.
It's really just to service our own hotel guests and the guests using the banquet facility.
Okay, so a little unfamiliar with the hotel thing. You'll have mini bars in the hotel rooms?
No.
No.
Basically, in the banquet facility, it's about 7,000 square feet that can be broken down into 4 separate meeting rooms. And the plan is to have a bar in there and to service the people using the banquet facilities.
Okay, so if there's nothing going on in the banquet facility, there's no beverage alcohol?
And the hotel guests.
And the hotel
Yeah,
guests?
we'd probably want to keep that option open.
Like a little bar, I mean, or
It'd be a
room
bar
service,
that
or-
not necessarily room service
Okay.
for the bar. It's mostly it'll be fixed. It'll be inside the banquet facility.
So it'll be open 7 days a week
Yeah,
from 2 p.m., 4 p.m. to regular bar close?
not necessarily. I would think that depending subject to the business, the demand.
Right.
It typically is usually based on our experience. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. But if there's a wedding going on,
Yeah.
for example, and we need to keep it open,
But there wouldn't be a jukebox. You're
No.
not going to be open for Packer games.
No.
It wouldn't be what people might paraphrase as a bar. It's
correct. Just to really service the guests of the hotel and the people using the banquet services.
okay. No karaoke, no bands connected to weddings and facilities there, but you wouldn't have like Saturday night we're having a band open to the public.
No,
Okay.
no.
And then the application also includes a patio.
There is a patio, and I don't know if Jim can talk more about the patio. Is Jim here?
Yeah.
If you want.
There's a patio, just one of the city, they were requesting like a little patio just to sit on the outside, so when the guests can come out of the conference center, like if there's a wedding.
Or if somebody wants to go
Like
smoke, have a
like
smoke or
smoking
something.
patio.
Yeah, but you want beverage alcohol in the patio also. That's on the application.
Yeah, that if someone ordered a beer at the bar, they can
Yeah.
take it out on the patio.
Okay, and I haven't seen this, this is not on the, say, the 82nd Street side, this is on the west side of the
No,
facility?
it is on 82nd
It
Street.
is on the 82nd Street side.
83rd for the banquet, and then the south of the enclosed swimming pool.
Okay, and it's 10 p.m. cutoff on beverage alcohol outside of the patio,
4 to 10 p.m.
4 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
I think that answers my question.
Anyone else have anything? John, just now, how much? We need a reason really why to go over quota. Me, just having a hotel, and a banquet facility that we can utilize to me is is enough. But how much are we talking about this whole? How much everything can be cost?
The city,
Value?
we've got grants for a little over $4 million, a TIF of $1.2 million, and then the development is about a $13 million development.
So $12-13 million development. So
And how many employees eventually in the hotel?
During peak times, maybe 75, 80.
Okay, and opening a little bit more than a year from now? is the plan?
Our plan really is to open up early August of next year.
Okay.
That's our plan. And in time for the state fair.
You want to make state, you want to make next year's
That's
state fair?
really what we
That's your
would
goal?
really like to
Okay.
try to do, correct?
okay.
Yep.
Okay, any further comments on this?
You taking them both at once, or?
Let's see, I got the... oh, let me see. Yes, because they're both together. Are they separate issues? Okay, hang on a second.
One's for the last.
I'll move approval on item number 9.
Hang on a second. That's all.
And I'll
I got.
second that.
It's all the
all as-
application,
it's all
yeah,
as
the
one.
big pack, yeah.
It's all one, yeah.
Only one, I'm not sure. Okay, we have a motion to approve by Alderman Weigel, Alderman Haas, second. Do we have any further discussion?
That's the council.
Do we have any further discussion?
Okay.
9 is for what we're doing right now, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
No.
Sorry. Okay. So now it goes to the council later on today.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's see, we have Kelly Hansberg. Everybody involved, step forward.
And what other guy? April the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so everything's settled, everything's in order?
We're all set. You should all have a copy of the release, or Scott had a copy of the release.
Okay, and you're ready, and you understand, gotta obey all the rules and regulations?
Yes.
And we will be watching, like everybody, so. Does anybody else have anything?
Mr. Chair, just real quickly.
Alderman Weigel?
So you have no experience in the bar business currently?
I do not.
Okay. And you're gonna hire a manager,
Yes.
or? And is anybody we know, or you don't know? You're gonna put an ad out, or?
I was going to be collecting applications and picking someone with the most experience.
Plus, I'm staying on for a while with Kelly.
Okay, so I think, you know, I see your business plan. It seems, you know, unusual, unique. I think it's, you know, interesting.
Thank you.
I think the concerns I have, I says, you know what, you're gonna, when you have problems, I mean, you checked off bands, disc jockey, and karaoke. Okay, it's a big place, we know that, you know, it's expensive, a lot of overhead. My concern is, that's the nights you're gonna have problems. I don't know if it's how key it is to your business plan. I appreciate that you were forthcoming by checking off everything you plan on doing there, you know, but that's when you're gonna have problems. I'm just letting you know, so.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Do I have a motion?
Move for approval, Mr. Chair.
My second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You need to go to the council.
Yeah.
No?
Okay, so next we have, we have for discussion, because we're not gonna be voting on either of these.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
On this D discussion item, I just wanted to apprise the committee members of where we're at on this. I think you probably all got an email from Diane from the Chamber of Commerce today. I printed copies of that. I also printed up copies of an email thread that kind of outlines where we're at in with Pawn America, with what our kind of expectations were. We're not taking any action tonight because we don't have the city attorney here. First of all, we had a lot of items we requested of them to do, and I think the real big ones have been taken care of. I think the full-time security guards made a big difference. Depends on whose actual security guard is there. They'd already had some problems of, you know, one guy wasn't doing his job, et cetera, et cetera. We're really down to one item. Some of the items, if you look at the email thread here, and like a lot of email threads, it's actually best to read from the back going forward. This actually summarizes 4 items that we were down to. First was the definition of loitering, okay? I said, we're not gonna change the definition of loitering. We have a definition. I wouldn't change that for any one particular business. Another was employees being on site after hours. And this really comes from the liquor application, where you're only supposed to be on site if you have a legitimate reason for being there. And I had mentioned, you know, maybe carpet cleaning or HVAC work, and actually kind of gave them this one, and the fact that, you know, really we don't care that so their employees there maybe having an after our business meeting or employee meeting or something like that. A third thing that we had talked about originally that we had asked for was economic support for security upgrades in the neighborhood. They are going to do a privacy fence that's going to cut off the foot traffic from 75th Street across private property onto their property. That's in process. And that's really what we wanted. We had talked about possibly motion sensor lights for the neighbors down the street. The problem there is they asked to not do that. And in speaking with the police department, they said motion sensor lights are actually kind of not a great thing anyways, because it doesn't really do anything. And my concern was that maybe you send an electrician onto somebody's property, next thing you know, electrical inspector's there, and
Find other things.
we're finding other, so again, that was something that in speaking with Alderman Probst, that we were like, yeah, that wasn't, we gave him that one also, okay? So of the 4 things that we were down to on the final negotiation, the definition of loitering, we're not touching that because I'm not changing that in one business. We gave them after hours, their employees could be on the premises after hours. We also gave them the, not requiring them to pay for lights in the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. But the $25 cash limit was something that we wanted to stick to. The idea is that instead of handing out piles of money to their customers, and that any transaction over $25 would require them to issue a check. If you read the email thread, you can see, well, a lot of their customers are unbanked. They threw out a number at first that like 40% of the population is unbanked. I looked and it turns out it's 4.5%, not 40, 4.5% in Wisconsin. They also said that check cashing fees, they called real quickly and they found check cashing fees tended to be $5 to $10. Okay. Well, I spoke to the bank that's my neighbor, and yes, they charge $5 for a non-customer drawing a check on one of their accounts. But if the check was for $50 or less, Anchor Bank would actually waive that fee. So they could get their checks cashed if that's a concern, if they're concerned about their customers having to pay what they would call exorbitant fees, they could easily, there's an easy workaround for them. Walmart charges $3 for check cashing if you bring in a business check. So
What do you expect to accomplish by doing this?
well, the neighbors are concerned about secondary transactions in the neighborhood. Okay, yes, they've agreed to have a full-time security guard on the premises. Well, that's the premises, okay? And even at that, a single security guard can't see everything all the time. The neighbors are concerned about secondary transactions, and we're not talking about legitimate transactions for the most part. I mean, there's concerns about drug dealing, there's concern about prostitution. I don't know that we have any hard evidence of that. We have people who say things, and and I think that's a real concern. There's also the concern for the security of their own customers. You could conceivably sit there and watch a customer walk in with a big flat screen TV and maybe make an assumption that he's going to walk out with a couple $100 in his pocket. Don't know what things pawn for, I don't know. But if for sure any transaction over $25 dictated they give that customer a check, I would say their customers would be less likely to be involved, being victims themselves. Whether it's right there, which wouldn't happen, or somewhere tailed to a different location or something like that. So our conversations with the city attorney, he's said that that's a reasonable request, and one of the things we talked about other things that maybe are less reasonable. Make no cash. We had talked about pawn by appointment only. Well, those are all that's not we all want to be reasonable here. So
Also, but if we did this for them, Pawn America, wouldn't we have to do it for everybody in the city?
I don't know. Again, that's
Now,
one
would
of the
that be
reasons.
every pawn? Pawn shop?
That would be the reason that we have, and our city attorney's won't be back till tomorrow. It's gonna will we require it? We just approved an outdoor patio for the hotel with a 10 p.m. cutoff. We have other patios that have 11 p.m. or even midnight. We have different rules for different licensed locations. So I'm not sure if that
Is it? Alderman Probst.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, and I certainly don't even pretend to be, but we have rules for businesses in the bar establishment in that industry that have proven themselves to be difficult businesses to work with. So we have plans of action that have been put in place for certain businesses that are licensed by the city. This is kind of the avenue that we're moving down. This was why the plan of action was put together. We had at this meeting a while back, I believe that was in June, where we sat here and we had some members of the neighborhood come forward and speak with you. Alderman Weigel and I spoke here as well. That plan of action we're in the process of putting it in place. This is that one last sticking item. We have gotten verification from the police officer assigned to the Pawn America store and neighborhood that this is in fact an excellent idea and that it enhances public safety. So the police are on board with this one as well, or at least the officer in charge of policing that neighborhood. So legally I understand, and we certainly don't want to run afoul of the law, but we do have different criteria for businesses, other businesses that we license. So somebody put to me, well, are we going to do this, for example, Shallow Jewelers? Are we going to do this for them because maybe they buy and sell? And it's like, well, do we have any issues with Shallow Jewelers? Do we have any neighborhood issues? Have we seen a spike?
I don't know. This is all something that Scott's going to have to answer because
Most definitely.
I don't know how all that goes. How about other communities? Any other communities have anything like this?
I have no idea. You know me, I like being the city at the center. I'd like somebody else to do the to do the expensive legal testing on all this stuff. Again, that's we have an attorney here. He's not working for us today.
That's right.
But
No, we don't want to bill from him. So.
no.
Do you have any other comments from the committee?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Alderman Weigel, we have this list of, this says West Dallas Business Plan items agreed to. And on that list of items agreed to, and it shows one item outstanding. It's the item that you addressed, the pay via check only for all transactions, $25 and above. And was this an item that was agreed to previously by Pawn America, or is this a new item that is brought up?
No, this was not. This item's always been on the table.
Okay.
And like I said, our last go around, we had 4 items that they requested that we review. And the 4 items were the definition of loitering,
Okay.
the after hours, the security enhancements, which have essentially given on those 3. But this is the 4th item that I'm interested in sticking to. Whether the rest of the committee and the rest of the council, that'll be after a conversation with the city attorney or an opinion or whatever we're going to get. So.
Very well. Thank you.
If I might. We did, just for the record and for, just for the record, Marty and I Alderman Weigel and I did sit down with City Attorney Post prior to putting this list together. So Scott has already perused this once before and has suggested that this, again, it will require greater in-depth research, but Scott has suggested that this would definitely be an acceptable item to place on a plan of action.
Okay. Does any other members of the committee have anything? Like I said, we will not be voting on this tonight. We just wanted to bring everybody up to date where everything is sitting.
And if Alderman Barzak is somewhere watching via YouTube or live stream, I hope you're listening.
Okay, so I believe that's all we have. Okay. That's it then.
That's it.
Motion to adjourn. That's all we have tonight.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Let's have a council meeting.
Okay, here, please.